What is up, guys? Welcome to today's video. As you can see, it's another Local Legends, usually done by Mr. Bone. He's not here. I am at BCS Mouveau, and we have a very special guest. You might know him as GGMrRogers, but I know him as JJ. So come here, buddy. Oh, there he is. There he is. How was BCS for you?
It was fun. That's all I have to say. Legally, contractually,
Legally fun.
it was fun. Yes.
I also had fun. Thank you. So tell us a bit about yourself.
But me. Hi, I'm JJ. I make a little bit of content myself. I like talking about Card 5 Vanguard, all different kinds of card games. I've been working in esports for close to a decade now, so that's been a while, and doing commentary officially for the Busher Rumble Online for the past 2-3 years now, alongside a bunch of plethora of awesome content creators and casters alike, and it's been a very fun experience.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we've got a few questions here. Starting us off with your favorite clan. What is it?
That is Kagero, but unfortunately she's not doing too hot. Every other deck kind of has her identity now and is kind of doing all she wants to do and more. Aquaforce, name it, you have it. Bermuda basically does it, but doesn't retire. So
It's like retire, but different.
better.
Bounds.
Exactly, retire but better. But it's still a fun deck to play. Like Lockkeeper variants for premium is still pretty fun, and the V premium if you still want to have fun with the Overlord, that's also fun as well.
Yeah. And how is it that you really like Kagero? What made you fall in love with the clan?
Watching the original series, I knew the main character. I'm a person, I guess, I've told people a couple of this before. I don't really like main characters of stories. I tend to like the side characters, the lancers, the people who like help the main character call to action, find their calling. And so I resonated a lot with Kai, and I liked his deck he played. He tried to like show Aichi the way to play the game, be fun, to kind of be the man in the chair to help him out and stuff like that. So I resonated a lot with Kai. So I liked his deck. Yeah.
It was always like the final hurdle for the newer player. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a cool theme actually.
Mm-hmm.
What made you start Vanguard?
Oh, what made me start Vanguard is watching the original series, just like almost any old boomer Vanguard probably has done.
Guilty.
Watch the original series and then find out, oh my god, my local store is going to possibly have like a demo day and play it and stuff. And a friend of mine, Gil and Dean, forever my heart, y'all are still my boys. Gil and Dean are one of the first people to introduce me to the game. They gave me a fully built Dark Irregular deck from set 3 in JP because they were already like a couple months ahead of us.
Yeah.
So he gave me the JP version of the deck, and I had to like translate all the kana, the kanji, and all that stuff to learn a little bit. It's one of the ways I learned a little bit of Japanese myself because of it. It was fun. It's a fun deck to learn to play, and I got deep into DI while also playing a little bit of Kagero when English came out.
Okay. What was some of your like early Vanguard moments? What was like the defining thing that when you look back you're like, oh, my heart. What's that like core memory? Like
I don't really have much core memories. It's more I think my favorite aspects of just Vanguard in general is just watching people I teach Vanguard do better than I ever could. You know, people who I've helped learn to do Vanguard. I've done that with other card games as well. A friend of mine played another card game, ended up becoming second place in nationals. He was a young kid. He didn't know much of the game. He started when he was 15, and then he ended up like, I think around when he was like 17, 18, he ended up like topping his first nationals and stuff, and he did really well. So like, being the person to help other people to inspire, to push them forward, has always been a thing for me.
You'll love to see it though. It's like that's my boy.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Living vicariously through somebody else's ambition is good. Of course, I want to do something nice and cool, but you know.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. If you can't learn, teach.
I mean,
if you can't do, teach is the actual phrase. Yeah.
Okay. You want to say Highland?
If you can play, judge.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Hey, I have some choice words for that. Yeah, true.
What's your favorite era of Vanguard? So we define it as like early era, then like limit break era, break ride, Legion, early G, mid G, G, V.
I'm keeping a stack with you, like 110% with you. I am not the biggest fan of the original era because it was a little bit too simplistic. It feels like how Overdress felt at the beginning of Overdress, but that kind of felt very nostalgic for me because it was like, oh my god, we're going back to core basics. Of course, we get a lot of cards that became like, well, I'm gonna die probably at my first opponent's grade 3 with mask engine and support. Sometimes it's not true, sometimes it can be. But outside of that, I do love the G era just before set 14.
So mid-G. Like
Mid G.
to early...
Early introduction to G-Guards, when G-Guards was being printed up the wazoo. I loved it during that era because we had a lot more defensive options.
Yep.
And I'm a person who loves defensive options in card games. And I like those.
Yep.
Being able to try to outsmart my opponent and be like, hey, I set up for this thing to try to kill you. Do you have a response? I like that.
Yep. So you would say like something like GBT11.
Yes, GBT11, GBT12, those were fun. A lot of really cool archetype supports. Some Thava stuff started to get printed out just before we got to the second version of Fetus, before we got...
Let's just say it when we got like ZTB, like
Yeah,
the full power ZTB, like...
The thing is, hot take here, I actually didn't mind ZTB that much because I played Victor around that era a little bit.
Fair enough.
But before then, I played a little bit of... what's it called again? God.
The Battle Sisters?
No. I played a little bit of Battle Sisters, but I played more the Blade Master. Yes.
Oh.
I played Cohen. I played during a little bit when Cohen was still, a little bit strong. Draw a lot of cards. He had some strand triggers. You could do some really cool Ziegenberg in your opponent up and down the train. But then when the legend came out, everything else kind of fell to the wayside. You just had...
Like, Blade Master finally gets to shine. No, here's the legend.
Exactly. He's legendary. So... after that, Legend and Destiny, it started to become a complete...
the clan again?
Yeah. It became a completely different ball game, and I had to go back and play Overlord again because it's still a dragon deck, so why not play it?
I did really like the design of Destiny.
Yes,
that was so cool.
Being able to retire your own rear guards, or being able to retire your opponent's rear guards and get the cards back to feed the purge, or being able to use that engine to feed into other resources that you can use. Was pretty nifty. I liked it too.
Yeah. What are some of your all-time favorite opponents? Like people that you love to play against or with or whichever. Like, what is the guy like? You were my rival. Something like that. Like,
okay. This might seem a little like condescending to me. I don't really have rivals.
Huh?
I don't believe like, oh my god, you're my antithesis, I have to beat you. But there are genuinely some people in the community that I love playing against. Hearth is one of them. My fellow teammate, he is a very fun opponent to play against because he actually pushes your mental boundaries of like trying to find a win condition overall. Love playing against Dave as well.
Yeah.
As much as sometimes I can come over as a very unsportsmanlike person when my deck doesn't do what it wants to do. And sometimes that might translate into very negative experiences in games. But I love playing with him nonetheless, still do. So many to name. You two as well. Played against you a couple times.
Yeah.
Even though you clapped my cheeks
I don't know
in
what
a couple
you're
of
talking
BCS in Springfest already. It was fun to play against you two. So it's not really like rivals, it's just...
people you love to fight.
I just like to play against everybody, to be honest. I just have fun playing the game.
Spicy.
Ooh.
Now, we played Premium today.
Yes.
So, like, we could talk about all these different metas.
Yes.
But let's talk about the Premium meta. How do you feel about the current Premium?
It is really explosive with History Collection support. This is something we've seen before, but that made sense because getting 2 markers on your first grade 3 turn while your opponent's a grade 3 can be a little bit like, questionable.
Spicy.
A little spicy, but we do have access to the Guardian Shield, Heal Guardians, Quick Shields if you're going second, that type of stuff. So you're not going to get completely blown out. It's a lot more punishing if you need to know how to play this matchup. So matchup knowledge right now is the most important that it's ever been.
Yep.
If you do not know how to play against decks, they're going to punish you for that. And that's what I love about it. So I love this premium format, but the decks that I want to play suck.
Yeah. I mean,
But for me, they suck for me because having to play the matchups and like knowing that these matchups are basically not unwinnable, but it's 60-40 or 70-30 for the opponent. It's like, man, I want easy games.
I just want to, like, put down the cards,
Yeah,
flip yellow.
exactly. I don't want to have to think, bro. You're making me think. Yuck.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's gross. Yeah, but that's kind of... I like the format as it is right now, but like obviously there's going to be some strong decks you have to look out for. Melissa is one of the stronger decks at the moment. One of the stronger decks at the moment, and you need to kind of hope that your opponent doesn't really know what they're doing. Playing against Ghidorah can be kind of antsy if you're playing something like Gurgwit. And if you're playing Gurgwit, you might want to go for the Ultima Stride version instead of playing the Overtrigger.
Yep.
Because that gives a better explosive finish. So there's like a lot of very narrow things that the meta kind of pushes itself in, and you just got to kind of navigate it. You can still play fun and interesting decks. I played Riviere from the Netherlands, and I topped with it. So you can do some stuff.
Yeah. Like, I played Gize today.
Yeah.
I did pretty well.
Yeah.
For the first part.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's a gimmicky deck.
Yep.
People have to think around it, and like...
If you didn't know the matchup, you're in a lot of trouble because they have to play around you.
Yeah. But it's just like, you can tell, like, your opponent has practice, and you can see, like, oh, the gears are turning. He's thinking, he's cooking.
He's like, crap, lock me out to this turn. Damn.
Yeah. What is something you would like to see added to the game?
More defensive options.
I agree.
For overdress. For premium, I think we're starting to get into a very good avenue. Maybe a couple of cards could be trimmed here and here. Personally, I don't like Honolulu, but that's just me. I'm biased.
Why would somebody who played Victor today say that? Like,
because I wanted to play Bermuda, but I forgot 2 cards, okay, and I got Honolulu twice. Leave me alone.
I mean, understandable. So yeah, like maybe with the vines, we
need the being able to guard a little bit earlier. Some legacy support would be nice. I kind of like that.
Yep.
That'd be really nice. And older archetypes getting supported would be super sweet. That's kind of it right now. I'm kind of at a loss. Maybe ask me like tomorrow, like in the morning when I wake
comments,
up. Yeah,
link it.
Yeah, exactly. I'll probably like say, hey, these are like 10 different things that could be added to the game. But I feel like the game is in a very sweet spot. It's just kind of spooky to a lot of newer players. That's all.
It's a hurdle. It's
Yeah,
a hurdle.
definitely.
That's all we can say.
Definitely.
Ooh, I don't know if you're going to be able to speak freely about this, you being a caster and such.
Depending.
But what do you feel about the different types of events? So we have Springfest for us, we have BCS,
Yes.
which is happening right now,
Yes.
and of course BRO.
I love all of them because it gives a lot of players who do not have the financial means to travel to any of these events with friends or to get anywhere to be able to play into BRO and still be able to do well because it's a prestigious event.
Yep.
All of the promos that you win at the BRO are nowhere to be seen other than at the BRO, so that's really good. They're not box toppers, they're not reprints, they're just specifically made for BROs. So hopefully, I would love that Bushiroad keeps on doing them. A bit more, social traction, a lot more people who'd be interested, people who are maybe from the United Emirates, people who are from like exclusively European countries who are able to take part and who have Vanguard and love the game can take part in those events. I love it. I love all of them.
Okay. And of course, the casting options. It's
yes, I like being able to cast.
I love seeing the enthusiasm, like especially like I only got the chance to follow you guys.
Yes.
I saw a little bit of America.
Yes.
But I was like, these guys are just having fun. Like it just feels good. Like
Premium was the best event that I ended up having to cast for this year. It's probably like one of the strongest turnouts. There was a lot of strong competitors taking part. A lot of the decks that we saw, the thing that would take it all, complete upsets.
Yep.
So it was just high octane gameplay every single round. So it was a banger all through, all through the game.
What's your opinion on? We don't know all that much yet, but the quick start decks. We are getting some new start decks.
I can see that a lot of people are apprehensive about them because they don't really have any high rarity cards in them, no foils, etc., etc. They're like baby first card game sort of like mentality, but we don't know exactly what the cards have yet. It possibly might not have vanillas, but might have skill effects that might be very strong for that particular archetype. And they're also going to be like 700 yen, which is just peanuts.
Yeah,
like $5 for us. So.
Yeah, like the yen is pretty low at the moment, so
yeah.
Translating wise, it might just be like $5, $6,
$2,
$7 would be like still fine. Like
yeah, and if you're talking about the MSRP right on it, they still might sell it for like $10 over here, but still like in comparison to the other Stride Deck sets or the other products that we've had of the same like quality or quantity, it's going to be a lot cheaper.
Yeah, we used to have trial decks like one of your boss units.
Oh God, don't get me
90
started.
euros. Like,
God,
oh.
get me started. And it's not even like Bushiroad's fault because they give like an inclination like, hey, we want to sell this for like $10, and shops got to make their money because we're living here in Europe. It's not cheap to have stuff imported to us. So yeah.
What do you usually say to people that are asking you like, oh JJ, I want to get started with the game, or they check out like your stream, or they check out BRO, and afterwards they're like approaching you and they're saying, I want to get competitively in the game, or I want to get started with the game. What do you tell them?
Have the mindset that you will be losing a lot. Accept that you'll lose a lot. Learn from your mistakes. That even though that you win, you probably made a mistake during the game that you weren't aware of. And even when you lost, don't chalk it up to just losing to an OT. Because even if you did lose to an OT, you probably put yourself in a situation to lose to the OT. Because a lot of people, it's more common knowledge that a lot of animosity towards like overdress or some aspects of premium can be like, oh my god, it's over trigger. But caveat, not saying this as a shill, not saying this as a shill, caveat. If you leave yourself at 3 damage, your opponent probably hasn't seen a whole lot of triggers that game. You haven't been guarding efficiently or couldn't guard efficiently. You might want to expect it. If your opponent has like a triple drive, there's a higher statistical chance they'll see it. And for premium, same thing, right? Come on.
There's like, never assume that you're the best player.
Exactly.
I think that's the mindset. Like,
yeah, never assume you're the best player. And practice. Just practice, play the game, have fun, learn skills, learn rules, ask your judge. Talk to a judge. That's also very important. Talk to a judge. Read your cards. Very important as well. Just read the cardboard. Reading card explains the card.
Yeah. I think that's it. We'll put that in bold. Like, I mean, our cameraman for today is Deli. He can probably attest to it. He is a judge, so.
Yeah.
But would you approve of this message?
I approve of this message.
Good. And then we have one more.
Yeah.
And then I'll leave you to the warmth of BCS. It's warm embrace.
Oh, yes.
And if you would, is there any shout outs you want to give? Is there anything you want to say to any future or, other potential local legends? Is there, what's your closing message and what's your
I would
shout out?
say the whole Vanguard community, to be honest. Like, shout out to everybody who's been playing this game for years. All of the people who are currently like married, like more than half of my friends now that I know are like all like wifed up or got husbands and stuff. I'm like, oh my god, just over here, just still enjoying this game. So try to play it with friends and everybody's like, oh my god, I need to think about my second mortgage. No, it's overall everybody, the whole community, everybody's been awesome. I literally cash out. I've been playing this game for close to a decade, and you meet hundreds and thousands upon thousands of people, and you can't quite hang on to everybody. Everybody's as important as the next.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming on to the show, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys. Stay radiant.